Welcome to this week's podcast, Love Tower Podcast, another Love Tower podcast. Welcome everyone. Aaron, here with me today. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. How are you?
Pretty good. I think, one of the subjects we talked about, I think earlier in the week was about the actual fear when it comes to love. Like there's a lot of, I think we always hear it like in, spiritual communities, like the mindset of fear and love. And like if you're in a state of fear, obviously you're not in a state of love. But I think that even goes in relationships a lot of times too. What do you think?
I think with what we were talking about, like a lot of people think fear is like fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of rejection. And one of the things that you brought up is actually like maybe one of the greatest fears is love.
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
Yeah. I think especially in relationships, like I've experienced it myself, it's like if you love someone so deeply, a lot of times the fear is that you won't be able to pull back from that love. So it actually will create a mechanism in you. It's like you internally, I think for me, like in the past, I've internally felt, like it's a one-way street. Like for myself, when I go into a type of love so deeply, like I feel like there is no return. Like I can't pull back from this person very easily without damaging myself in the process. So I think like in a lot of relationships, and how I learned that was interesting is like, in a relationship, I always felt this weird fear or this emotion, but I don't think I even logically would even say it to myself. It was only this Buddhist nun that we met who told us he loved you. We were having some issue. We were going to see her, and she just gave us counseling all the time and different things and just really guidance. So we went to her a lot of times. But one day we went to go see her, and she told us, when she was speaking about me, she said, he loves you so deeply that he fears it scares him. And only when she said that did I realize, like logically in my mind was like, that's what I always feel. Like that's what I always feel, what I always felt. It was just like I loved her so deeply that it scared me. And so I think a lot of people feel that way, like when they go into a relationship, it's like there's a threshold, a boundary. It's like, do I want to cross that threshold to where there is no return? Like if something does happen, then you have to pull back, but can you do that? It's it's an interesting thing.
No, I think in other words too, people sometimes are afraid of losing themselves.
That's true.
Not even just in the sense of losing themselves, like they lose their routines or like their hobbies, or like they invest way too much into people. Because I think sometimes like people think that like when they get into relationships, sometimes they lose what they previously had, right? But I also think it comes back to like that identity that everybody has.
Losing your identity.
Like losing who they are, who they believe that they are. Like, when you love someone so deeply, like you likely will change in some ways.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting.
That's interesting within itself. It's like, because you're losing yourself to a certain extent, like you may experience it as losing yourself. But, the question I would ask is like, maybe love is the natural process of losing the ego, actually losing the self. It's like, I heard someone tell me a very wise saying. It's like, let yourself die so you can live again. It's like, and so maybe the process of love is that natural state of losing oneself. Because I've heard people talk about it like where it's almost like like obviously you do, I think, want to maintain who you are obviously in a relationship, but I do think there are parts of you that, and when a union happens, you are meant to merge with that other person and become something different. So to a certain degree, you are partially going to lose parts of yourself, I think.
Or maybe in a different way, like I think every container, like whether it's a relationship, whether it's business, whether it's any other aspect of life, like it can be its own container. Like if you're saying that love can actually help transform you or lose the ego, all of it can be seen as that. Like it's going to show you exactly what the truth is and what's not.
That's true.
When you say that, the quote that you have in the meditations, the only truth is love, everything else is a lie.
Yeah.
Like the other day we were talking about how love is the truth, right? And everything else is just structure on top.
Yeah. Scaffolding on top.
Scaffolding.
Yeah. It's like even recently, and, in terms of relationships, I came to a place to where, I understood that a lot of times in a relationship, there's all these little dynamics and different things, and we have all these particular, things about, what this person is or isn't doing for me, or this, that, and the other, what they need to do to make you happy, this, that, and the other, what you need to be happy. It's like all this complexity. And it's like, at the end of the day, like everyone wants to be loved. And the truth, like I always say this in a meditation that I guide, is the only, like you were saying, is the only truth is love. Everything else is a lie. And so it's just like, at the end of the day, sometimes, even for myself, I have to get to the point where I just realize that all of the stuff that I'm worried about and like I'm mad about or whatever, it's just a bunch of, excuse my language, bullshit. It's just like, at the end of the day, the truth is the love. Everything else is just the scaffolding on top of it. Yeah.
And I think that's the challenge.
Yeah, that is.
To actually remember that. Like when there's so many illusions, so many attachments, so many tricks of the mind that kind of block the heart, then there's a challenge in that.
Yeah.
How do we actually remember love? Can we choose it? Can we keep it in the forefront as much as possible? Can we continue doing that so much so that actually we kind of return to our true nature, where it's not a remembrance, it's not a choice. Like we know it, we live it, we embody it. I think that's part of the whole entire journey, to actually come back to that remembrance, whether that's the catalyst and container of a relationship, of your love for business, your love for someone else. Sometimes, like I think even your love for your own self in a very true way.
Yeah, that's true. Actually,
it's love for everything, love for all of life.
Love for all of life. Yeah, it's like, I think, like in my opinion, it's like I feel the world, especially today, and modern society, is designed to take us out of that state of love all the time. It's like we, especially depending on, certain careers that you're in, a lot of it is designed around ambition, profit, even like the structure of society itself. It's like, it's profit over people. It's very little of society is designed around compassion and love. And so, it's the competitive nature, it's the hustle culture, it's the money driving, profit driven, society. And so, when you have so many things, like especially externally and internally working to really what I call the great forgetting. It's to really everything that's outside of love. Like, so it's not a question. It's like why it's so difficult for people in relationships to maintain that love. And I come from an energetic background where we talk about, like the energetic reasons of that. And like, I always think that's interesting too. It's like the more trauma that like two people build up together, a lot of that, like that energy that just doesn't go anywhere. It actually is lodged within the energy system. And then a lot of time that traumatic energy, it actually blocks the love from actually getting through. Like there's a really powerful healer, Master Cole, talked about it before, where he was saying how when you look at two soulmates, a lot of times the traumatic energy between them becomes so much that the love that you once seen, like as they look into each other's eyes, like it doesn't go. Like normally, like in a new relationship, like if you look at a couple, like the soul energy, the love energy will move from the eyes into the soul and back and forth. And so he was saying like when a lot of traumatic energy is built up, like you no longer see it. The love energy doesn't travel from soul to soul through the eyes anymore. And so like removing that energy and getting back to a space of love is actually like a very powerful thing. Like I think even couples feel that like in relationships, like not necessarily consciously but unconsciously sometimes they can feel that the energy isn't flowing the way it used to.
For sure. I mean, that happens microcosm, macrocosm, like on an individual level. Think about when people have health issues. When they've had trauma, like in their body, it gets blocked, it gets clogged.
Yeah.
It starts to form more disease, like all these things. But when you actually clear it out, then the body starts to function again properly on its own.
Yeah.
And then you take that to couples, you take that to organizations, to societies, communities, like,
Yeah.
and you see how much goes on in the world.
Yeah. It's like one of the things that I think about a lot of times, even in terms of relationships, is there's a book, Outwitting the Devil. One of the things he talks about in there is like one of the things that the devil fears is two minds. He like unified. He says, the devil, what he uses as the devil, you can think of that in terms of just like negative force or whatever. But he uses that to kind of to illustrate to people the forces, in the world that are working against you, against the things that you want in life. You want love, you want success, you want all these things, but there's all these things that are working against that. And so one of the things that he says that you need to have to fight against that flow, the river flowing in the opposite direction of the things that you want, is definitiveness of purpose. And like, even though that seems like something very simple, it's like, even in terms in the context of a relationship, it's like, if you start off in a relationship and like, love, this is what you want, these are the things you want, but you look at a lot of relationships 5 years later, they're not there. It's like, that's because somewhere along the line, one or both got pulled into a different stream, pulled into a different direction, and now the singular purpose and the path that was once there before is gone. And so you really need to remember, like, anchor in, like, what is the goal? Like, what is it that you want?
It takes a lot of nurturing.
Yeah, a lot of nurturing, actually. A lot of nurturing. Yeah, it's just an interesting thing. Like, I view, like, I love that book. I love Outwitting the Devil. Like, it to me, like, my own belief system is, the nature of things. There's another saying that I love is like, love will not save us. It is for us to save. And so what that illustrates to me always and makes me remember is that, yes, love within itself is a very powerful, like, supernatural energy, but it really is something sacred that you have to hold, two people have to hold on to. If you don't see the value in it and the power in it, then the universe and nature itself will remove it from you just through sheer nature. It's like you have to be able to hold it. It's like gold. It's like if you don't know the value of it, someone will quickly take it from you. Mm. That's true.
Wise words.
That is true. It's like, what have you experienced, like, where you feel like, in relationships, maybe like you've gotten thwarted or like you've changed the way you viewed it, like later only after time to see kind of like, what, man, like I should have actually done this instead.
I think it's really easy to look back in the moment and see what you could have done differently. If when we think about love in this context, like whether it was one-time arguments, whether it's like recurring patterns, like whatever the case may be, like if you actually look back at it and ask yourself the question, if I were in a state of love at that time, what would I have done differently?
That's interesting, actually, yeah.
Because I think it's easier to look back and reflect on maybe what we would have done. Maybe we would have had more compassion. Maybe we would have been kinder. Maybe we would have, been more patient or more understanding. And it's not to say that, we would let go of our truth, our boundaries. Like, that doesn't mean any of that. But I think when you come from a state of love, your life actually looks very different. Because internally, you're more tuned to a certain type of frequency or truth. And so if you believe in energy, you believe in love, then what does that actually create? But I think that's also part of the challenge. Like, not to remember it just in hindsight, but actually choosing it in the present moment and living it.
That's deep. That's deep, actually. Yeah. It's like, because I can see how, like, I really feel that if you act, move, and think in the frequency of love, it does change things.
For sure.
Yeah, it does change things. And so, but the trick is, again, there's all these different things that are kind of moving against that in the world. And so, it's no coincidence that people feel a lack of love. They feel a lack of compassion. They feel, all these stresses and pain and trauma and all these things. These are the things that block this energy out. Like, I had a friend who I told this story before, but he had a teacher, a really powerful master, and he was starting out on his spiritual journey, and he wanted to start to delve into the practice and kind of work with this master. And the master told him, he said, before you do anything, first you must fix what's within your heart. And so he had all this, trauma and pain. My friend, he came from a place where he was just like, he was even in a place at a certain time where he believed love wasn't even something that was necessary, because of all the trauma that he had. And so when the master told him that, like, you need to, before you can, come help me, you have to first fix what's in your heart. He started out on a journey and started to really, like, delve deeply and started to do all these heart practices, and it changed his life, actually.
I also feel like some people may have a belief that it's you have to choose one or the other. Like, you have to choose love or this. You have to choose me or them. You have to choose left or right. Like, it's this concept of or rather than and. Like, sometimes when we've talked to other people where it's like they feel guilty for wanting to make money because they don't think like that has anything to do with love. And then there's other people who for them, their truth is that they cannot actually serve from an empty bank account. Like, even financially, energetically, right? So at what point is like your love for business more of your love for business, but your vehicle to actually serve other people, to help the world, like to make it better? But it's, where is that coming from? Is it just truly like your love for money and like capitalism and the game and this and that and all these things, which is totally fine? Or is it also rooted deeper in a purpose and fulfillment and contribution, like, and really like a betterment of yourself, betterment of other people? Like, I think there's a difference, you know, where it doesn't have to be I'm choosing love and I let go of everything else. In a weird way, like it doesn't have to be that way. It's more like what we were talking about. It's like, if love is underneath it, if love is actually the central truth, everything's scaffolding on top, rather than I'm going to build without a foundation of love. And I'm going to just build the scaffolding and then insert love wherever I feel like it fits. There's a difference fundamentally in how that operates, what that looks like, how it affects everything within you and around you.
So are you saying like the intention, like when you're acting with the intention of love, like it creates like different outcomes? Or that's true. I believe that too. It's like, because you can be driven by whether it's just the ambition of it or your own personal ego in it, or that could also come from a loving state as well. Like, I feel like in society, just in general right now, like there isn't a lot of that, especially in like the corporate world. Obviously, it's like, you know, our whole society is just built on, you know, like profit over everything, efficiency over everything. Like, I'll be damned with the people in the company. It's like, oh, we gotta let 500 people off so we can have higher profits, then so be it. It's like, but maybe we need a society that, you know, thinks a little bit different, where the machine is serving the people and not the people serving the machine.
Yeah, a good example of that's creative arts. Like, when you think about music, and you think about the music that you love, or music that kind of represents love to you or for you.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, when you sit down and watch these interviews or speak to artists, and they talk about how they created that song, how they created the album, where it came from, like their inspiration. There's a lot of people who talk about it, their love for life, their love for their parents, their love for their partner, just the love of creating itself, like, and it stems from a certain place within them. And then there's other ones where it's like, you can kind of hear like the difference within it. You talk about that a lot.
What do you mean?
Like, think about the songs that you've used for the meditations.
Oh, yeah. It ignites something within me. And so, like, I use a lot, like one of the meditations that I do, that I guide, is the music enhanced heart meditation. And so we use the music to enhance the emotion and bring you deeply into the heart, and take you back into, you know, memories that really, in moments in your life where it took you back into a place of love. One of the things that I learned is that, like, we don't realize this so much, but the memories, the trauma, the things that have created us, whether negative or positive, a lot of the time we can be, even though we physically are in the present moment, is a lot of times we can be mentally and energetically connected to other times, other places, where we're connected to trauma instead of the positive or loving emotions that we have. And really it's just like a choice. It's like, and the power of that is like super, it's like crazy. Like I've seen it like illustrated so clearly to me so many times. And like, you know, it really is a choice. Like you can make a choice to be connected to the trauma that you've created and collected over the years, or you could also make a choice to connect to the love, the things that were good, and that energy actually fulfills you. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Because I believe like energetically, like I always come from things from an energetic background too. I think that that energy, obviously, I mean, you can look at even studies, you know, for, you know, love and compassion and meditation and different things like that. Obviously it has physical effects on the body. But energetically, yeah, it also has an effect as well. But this has been a very good conversation, Erin. Thank you. Thank you for joining me this week. Thank you guys for joining out there as well. We have these little live podcasts every week, every Sunday at 11 a.m. And then we do some guided meditations as well, some in-person events. The link is in the bio. Thank you guys for joining this week. Hey, what's up, Nico? What's up, Mike? What's up, AppCuber? Thank you for joining. See you guys next time.